learn from each other. We all need to learn from each other as pianists. And so the comments that I give to the first of the two of you, and I now acknowledge in your playing, really, let's think about it for your own pieces. Okay. You've understood the idea of pitch, melody, and register very well. Like your singing tone here, and your bass has its own color, and they're there. Your middle voice too, it has its color, it's there. You're very sensitive to that. So you've done a lot of work to develop this, and I want to commend you for that. It's excellent, and I don't want to change that at all. What's the last sort of barrier at this point to performing this piece the way you want to? And
maybe being more confident in my abilities.
yeah, actually, you said exactly it. It's the confidence. When you hear when it's just right, you know what happens? The pianist kind of disappears. We forget that who's playing the piano. We just hear this music, right? And knowing what to do is what gives you that kind of confidence, right? And so, in all of the parts we talked about, tempo, rallentandos, knowing like how to articulate parts of a piece with different parts, form is part of that, or hearing the pitch before you start. For you have a piece that's not in very different sections, like a Chopin nocturne or Beethoven. Like it's one unbroken melody, and I'm going to ask you this question: if you can practice this way, this is the last part, because my observation was that you do a lot of these sort of pushes and pulls, but they don't feel quite right. You're doing a lot of things to be expressive, but you're not sure yet how to do it. If I tell you that it's really like three parts, and the image is almost like, well, obviously it's a piano piece, but almost think like organ player, pipe organ. There's little that they can do except they're manipulating those parts. And so, what parts I'm talking about? And we're gonna just play, hope the last 2 minutes when we save this. I'm gonna start you from page 24. And so obviously you're pulse has to be steady. You can change all the color you want. You can do the thing, but the pulse, and then the next thing that has to be steady after that is the voices have to be there all the time. Because you're kind of bouncing between, and sometimes I hear this, and I'm like, I forget. Like they have to be equal the whole time. It's like three things are happening. Your feet are playing the bass line, you're singing this, and maybe a second. That's why I keep thinking pipe organ, right? All parts simultaneously, not one more important than the other. Okay? We have to do a little bit of that on the modern piano because of its cross stringing and its construction. On Schubert's piano, that would have been an issue. He wouldn't have had to do like, you could play more, and this wouldn't be so strong that it would overpower, right? So, but let's do like, and I want you to do, actually, to save time, let's do the bottom two parts. And continuous, just play it for you, forget everyone's here. You can do it. pulse, the music starts to play you. You're not trying to play it. It should never be like you're trying to force your idea on it. It should, that's pulse, form, balance, everything coming together, right? And so we're being a little bit steady here. Obviously, it's going to take some push and pull, but now see what happens. You listen to that. Let's start from all voices, okay? From here.
Oh, sorry.
So all voices. And let's keep going Bass, don't lose it. Keep the bass. Bass. It continues. We don't have permission to stop there. You see? Okay, Patrick, you get it. So it starts to play you. So you're very musical, and so you're trying to articulate things, and you need to go through that. But every now and then, this is totally clinical. It's like it's almost just you and Schubert again for yourself, right? When you go home, and then go back to playing and trying to do it with the timings. You'll find the right balance. But this is something that I still do with every piece that I play, and it's something that with Pathétique, with Chopin, anytime you look at it, sometimes we have to stop being so expressive and imposing an idea and say, okay, what does it sound like just to play it for myself? Again, the parts without any of these things that we like to do as